Welcome to Unscripted Gaming. Welcome back. We are back. We're on a different channel.
Woo!
We have new art.
What up, doe?
Same
Mark is
cussing.
back. Josh is back.
Don't worry,
Yo,
there'll still
I'm
be
here.
more cussing. I promise.
I promise to cuss in the first minute of the show.
Wow. Gentlemen,
That's what I
We've
can
been-
commit to.
we're in a new space, as you can see here. We're going to try something new. Show's going to be a little bit different from now on.
Smells weird in
Nothing
here.
bad. Mm-hmm.
Tastes funny, too.
And we've been gone a couple months. I'm in a new location. Ask me anything you want about Texas, and I will tell you what you need to know.
What does
Red.
Felix think about Texas?
He's cool with it. I mean, there's a bunch of pollen in the air, so I think he has a little bit of allergies because he sneezes more often. But he's still cool with it. Likes playing around. Likes taking long walks.
Is it hot AF?
Nah, it was 86 degrees outside today, so... But when people ask me the question, how hot is it? I remind them that I lived in Iraq for a year. Bring it on! I don't know what you think you're going to give me, but I'm pretty sure I'm used to it.
Also, who else is on this podcast?
There is Mike.
Oh, that's me. Hi. Hello, everyone. We're back.
He did already.
There's Josh.
What up, yo? Mike, he did already introduce us, so...
I did, but it's good for a reintroduction.
You know what? We're so awesome, we deserve a reintroduction on our relaunch.
Hell yeah. So let's start with
Agreed.
Mike. How you been? It's been about 3 or 4 months. Mike, how you been?
For the boys and girls at home, I know they can't see the video feed right now, but Mike, can you please zoom out your camera and turn off the black and white, for God's sake?
I'd rather you not get
hold
into
on.
the
Give me just
foibles
one
that
sec.
is
Never!
Mike.
I will never do this. Not once.
One day we will have a video feed of what we look like, and today is not that day, but you will see the shenanigans that is Mike.
I like to work my magic. But I've been doing great, Ray. I've been. I don't know if we want to jump in too early to this, but I've been playing some pretty cool games, and I'd like to talk to you guys about them.
Well, we'll get to that. I want to ask, since you're doing good, which is good to hear. Josh, how you
Doing well.
I'm doing
well.
splendidly. I've had a career change since our last podcast, and
Alright.
things are going well. I'm a corporate douche now. It's fantastic. Ask me about
Bottle service.
bottle service, cocaine, and, the
Stacy from accounting.
Stacy from accounting, and the dismal art of Fridays.
What's your favorite app at Fridays?
My favorite app at Fridays is The Wolf of Wall Street.
Wait, is that actually an appetizer at TGI Fridays?
Yeah. How
As you
many
can tell
times
by
have you
Mike's
watched
side
American
note.
Psycho this week and not gotten the subtext of it? How many times?
I'm sorry, Mike. Are you saying there's subtext in that movie? No, it is
Oh,
very
boy.
direct.
Oh boy, we got some work to do. Okay.
Wow.
But yeah, so I'm swell. I'm splendid. I've also been playing some cool games. And on a side note, not that this has anything to do with games, but just being a general nerd culturist, my daughter, the baby Metroid, has recently taken a huge affinity for Pokemon. As in, she will ask to watch Pikachu, and she's a year and a half old, and she'll look at the TV and go, Pikachu! And it's great. As a dad, I am freaking thrilled that she has fallen in love with my childhood show. So, yeah, things are
Man,
great.
that is cool. That
Right?
is cool.
Right?
Yeah.
She'll literally go like, Pikachu! And I'm like, fuck yeah, kid, let's watch some Pikachu.
Good on Pokemon for keeping it going for, like, how many decades now?
We're watching the OG series, too, right now.
Just tell me when she starts watching Zoids, and then she'll have my attention.
You went there. You had to.
I did, yes.
I keep forgetting it exists until you bring it up. I keep wanting it to die, but you won't let it.
Nope.
So,
Every-
look,
Every time you mention Zoids, a producer somewhere thinks, maybe it's time to bring back Zoids.
no producer.
Not
ever
not
said
with
that.
any modern production. The same production that it was
Okay.
back then.
Oh God.
If you go into a bathroom and say Zoids wasn't half bad 3 times while looking in the mirror, a Netflix exec will appear behind you and greenlight 10 episodes.
Live action. Live action versions of it. With like the biggest D-list actors you ever heard of.
I tried it myself the other day, and Jeff Bezos got there like 2 seconds later, but missed it by that much.
Oh man, missed it by that much.
So, guys, I know we're chomping at the bit to talk about the games that we've been playing in the past couple months. Mike, you seem really eager about it. Let's start with you. What games have you been playing?
Well, let me talk about a couple of smaller things I've been playing before some of the heavy hitters.
Sure.
One little game I have been playing and really enjoying a lot is a game called Into the Breach. It's a PC strategy game from the makers of FTL, and it is from Subset Games. And it's really cool because it kind of has it's kind of like a little... you only have like 3 kind of mech. It's like a grid-based kind of strategy game, and I think just generally, I really like that kind of pixely art style, but it's like has cute pixely art, but like the tone is still kind of dark in a way that's interesting. Like the game starts with you. The concept is that like you have pilots of these mechs, and they're jumping in different timelines to try and like fight off this bug invasion, and then the first thing that happens to you in the game is that you're dropped into like an impossible battle, and you have to pick one of your pilots to send into another timeline to maybe beat the bugs. And it like the game does a good job of having this kind of like not only like harrowing tone in like the presentation, but like also in the gameplay, because you only have 3 guys, and they have like certain abilities, and different mechs can do different things with like pushing and pulling guys and hitting multiple targets and stuff. But eventually there'll be like 6 or 7 bugs that are all attacking different things, and it's like it does a really good job of like making you have to make tough sacrifices to like win, and it just feels, it does a great job like contextualizing that in the story. Like it feels really cool to like put a mech in front of a train that is carrying innocent people and have the mech like take a big hit of damage, but to protect the train. And it feels really like, oh no, this is bad, when you just realize that there's nothing you can do about something and something's gonna hurt somewhere. And it just kind of adds to this really cool tone, and it feels really good when you succeed. So that has been really cool. I think that's only like $20 or something, but I've really enjoyed that.
I really want to play Into the Breach, but it's got the one thing that keeps me from playing it, and it's not on iPad or Switch. And that's the only thing keeping me off of it.
I know, I feel like I don't know how well it would translate to Switch. I think playing it with a controller would be difficult. It's because it kind of has a lot of like the precise kind of details of FTL. Okay. But FTL did come to iPad, and I think Subset is looking into other platform options. So you might, I bet if you hold out, that might be coming down the pipe for you. So keep an eye out for that, because FTL did come to iPad, so it could happen.
I'm looking forward to it. If it happens, I'll definitely pick it up, because it's got my favorite words in it, mechs.
Yeah,
mechs and strategy game, and I'm down with that.
It's really fun. I really like it. Another quick game I've been enjoying. I've been playing. I just forgot what I was gonna say. I've been weirdly enough, I've been like getting back into like Ghost Recon Wildlands in kind of a weird, mindless way, where I set aside all the weird jingoism of the game that makes me uncomfortable. But like I've just been messing around with it. It's just like a fun, chill, hey, here's a base, be tactical and take out the base kind of game. Like. That is not quite as zany as like a Far Cry, but is still kind of like loose. So that's been kind of interesting. I've been playing some more Destiny. We actually did the raid a couple weeks ago and with our group, and that was pretty. I think that went pretty well. Josh participated in that, and
that was definitely. I'll jump in a little bit. Just talk about the raid. It's one of those things that seems really daunting when you hear about it in the lead up. And as somebody who does not like spoilers or, to really feel like I'm getting just walked through an area, I cannot underestimate how important it is to have somebody who at least have some sense of what they're doing, explaining things, and 2, even if you have somebody who says, hey, we need to do this thing, there's a lot of execution and minutia still that you have to kind of get you to come to terms with and get a grip on while you're doing the different areas of the raid leading up to the final conflict, which in itself has different puzzles and challenges and things you kind of have to practice and get to terms with. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a really good way to lengthen the life of Destiny. One of those things you don't want to do all the time, but now that I and our group of friends know what we're doing, we can honestly get it done in 2 short playthroughs or 1 long weekend playthrough, and still have get a lot of life out of what's in Destiny right now. Also really makes me want more of that kind of content. Just say like, hey, I want another piece of the game that is this big, that is this complex, that is this separate from what the base game is, to learn and master and explore as Destiny evolves over the next few years. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad we did it.
Yeah, I certainly had a blast, kind of leading everybody through it. And for those who don't know, a raid is like it's like a in Destiny. It's a 6-man team of where you're put into kind of different activities, puzzles, and challenges and it requires pretty precise coordination. And I think you hit the nail on the head, Josh. That like I appreciate people who go in blind, but it just seems. Just the raw time commitment is just something that I don't think is realistic for me to do that, and just like not having that, like you said, just the execution itself and the uniqueness of it compared to anything else in Destiny, I think makes it my favorite part of Destiny 2. It's some of the best content. I think it's some of the best storytelling in Destiny as well. With some of the lore kind of stuff going on around the kind of exterior of it, and some of the item descriptions from things you get that has interesting hints for future encounters. So I think they've added 1 chapter to it, like 1 little chapter 2 in the first expansion, and there's another one coming up in the next expansion coming out like in early May. So there is some more raid stuff to be done. So that's kind of a quick summary of some of the other things I've been playing, but I think the first heavy hitter that we should talk about is it's a pretty cool game because it came out so early in 2018, and it feels so wonderful to be.
Before you get to it, I know what you're about to say, because we're all going to jump in on that game, and when Josh will talk about the other games he's playing, Josh, don't mention that game. You know what he's going to say.
Okay. I'm shutting up.
Yeah. For me, not a lot besides the game we're going to talk about in un momento. A couple things that I've been dabbling in, and we might talk a little bit more about this as well. Just some crazy shit popping off in the Fortnite world since we've been gone. Might get into that a little bit later, but I have indeed played a bit of Fortnite with a few friends of mine who have badgered me basically into downloading the game and giving it a shot. In my first match, I got several kills and we went pretty far. So it's it's not as with the building and stuff. I thought it was gonna be a little more complicated to kind of get to terms with how the building works in that game and what to do. But honestly, it's very easy and very fluid to build as you go along. Some of the resource collection to do the building is kind of obnoxious leading up to the parts in the fight where you're gonna need to build. And I do not feel that the gunplay is very good. It just doesn't feel good. It's very it does feel cartoony, and it's very imprecise. Now I will say that the guns have a very satisfying weight to them, but it's really when you're trying to like have a firefight and you're in close quarters, it's very obnoxious to have these guns that just feel so sluggish, and like you basically have this giant fist coming out of the front of them rather than an actual bullet. That's it. It's a weird metaphor, but that's kind of how I feel. It just
sometimes I think for me it just feels like I can't dial in the accuracy. Like it feels like it's very I always mess up this part in science class, but it's okay. It's like you're aiming this way, and it's definitely going to be within this little cone, but it just feels like it's all over the place within that little circle, and it just. I think I've seen that they're trying to rework some of that, some of the core shooting of it, but it just. I don't know if it's just that I just haven't really been great at the combat. I haven't played a ton of it, but I'm going in my high, very self-important image of myself, in which I am the purest and bestest gamer. I'm just going to assume it's the game's fault that I'm bad and not just my fault. So,
yeah, that was rough. I did not like any of that.
Truth hurts.
But I also, unfortunately, agree with you too. Granted, I got a lot of kills in my first few matches, so
I don't know what they call it. Oh, okay.
I have not won yet. I mean, I've only played like 4 or 5 matches, but I've gotten kills in every single one of them so far.
Have you posted about it on your Snapchat?
I have not. I have not posted about it on any social media. In fact,
have you played it with Drake?
I have not played it with Drake. But it's not bad. Like I enjoyed what I played. I think the gunplay isn't fantastic, but it's not the worst gun I've ever shot in a video game. I enjoyed playing it with the group of the squad that I played it with. But I still prefer PUBG. I just think PUBG is a better game. I like that style better. I like not having to collect resources and break apart buildings. I like not having to worry about building. I like the tension that's in PUBG a lot better than Fortnite. Fortnite just does not have the same tension and sense of dread that you have in PUBG. The other thing is I've actually started playing a little bit of Pokemon Moon. Not very far in. I'll have a report soon. But yeah, let's okay. Ray, anything else you've been playing?
Yeah, so in my move to Texas, I played some Switch games. I played Celeste. It's kind of a platformer. Yeah, it's a time-based platformer game. When you mess up, you go back to your checkpoint, so on and so forth. And it's got this really cool story about the main character grappling with anxiety. I dug it. I dug it a lot. I highly recommend anyone that has like an extra $20 on the Switch to go ahead and buy that game and try it out. If you like platformers, because if you don't like platformers, this
would it be reductive to say this is like Super Meat Boy?
Don't you dare say it.
It's the Dark Souls of platforming.
Okay. I thought you were going to say something else. Damn it!
No cusses. This is a Christian podcast. No cussing.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No.
We can go. We can. That can be our unscripted gaming, retirement phrase. not everything is the Dark Souls of everything else. Because
can we talk about that later for the one game I want to talk about that with? That gets into another game.
I agree. Let's do that. That's a good transition.
Thank you. That game was good. I played a little bit of PUBG. I got a couple chicken dinners in between the break. Just 2 of them. And that game is still good. I played one match with you, Mike. And we ran roughshod over some people when we were not recording. But when we were recording, you'd swear we were
bad.
just trashed here.
I
don't know what happened.
I think I just I don't play PUBG enough to get any better than anyone else who's playing it regularly. So I just actually can't beat anybody in any sort of firefight ever.
I'm playing the game that I'm still trying to convince Mike to play because it's right up his alley of games that he'll love to play. Monster Hunter World. And I dumped 75 hours plus into Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, and I dug it. I like that game. And then I was convinced by someone to get Monster Hunter World. They said it's like everything you wanted Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate to be, but better. And so I started playing it, and that person was not lying to me. All of the quality life improvements are just there. No longer, for anyone that's a Monster Hunter fan, when you drink a health potion, it used to be they drink the health potion, then they flexed. And Monster Hunter is one of those games where every single millisecond counts. So the fact you're drinking a health potion and then they take the time to flex right there, you're just like, stop!
Flex or die.
There's an eldritch abomination trying to eat you! Don't flex! Oh, but that's gone. You can actually heal while moving.
Okay,
now.
almost there.
And you can heal with a weapon equipped. And no, I'm lying. You can't heal with a weapon equipped. But you can heal while moving now at a reduced pace. The important thing is the character no longer flexes.
I'm sure it's wonderful.